Good morning, children. Today we will prepare a cake, and that will be a special cake. The name of a cake will be thunder cake. Student, have you heard it anytime? Okay, today we will prepare it. Come on, let us see what are the ingredients we need to prepare the thunder cake. Now this is a story about a little girl. Okay, now she used to afraid, she used to get frightened. About what? About a thunder and a lightning. Student, do you get frightened about that? Do you get afraid of the thunder and lightning? Yes, students. Somehow, when I was to be small, I used to also get afraid of it. It's quite natural. But here, in this story, we will see how the grandmother has helped her little granddaughter to overcome with this afraidness, overcome of this problem. Okay? So, let us see the lesson. On sultry summer day at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy storm clouds drift low over the field. Luft means move slowly with no control over direction. Birds fly close to the ground. The cloud glows for an instant with a sharp crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder make the window shudder in their pants. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house, Babushaka, as I used to call my grandmother. Had come from Russia year before, but I fear Michangi's summer storm. I fear the sound of thunder more than everything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. So it was a sluttery. Sluttery means hot and humid summer day. Okay, and when she went to meet her or stay with her grandma in a grandma's farm in Michigan. Okay, so suddenly what happened? The air get dumb and there was a heavy sound. There was a storm cloud which moved very slowly with no control over the direction. The birds started flying, but they were flying very near or close to the ground. Okay, the entire cloud was covered with a sharp crackling. That means a sharp sounds. Okay, and there was a roaming of thunder and lightning. Suddenly there was a noise. Everything was shaking up with a loud noise. Now it has scared the little girl very much. Now the little girl loved to go to the grandma's house. And what she used to call her grandma? Babu Shaka. What she used to call? Babu Shaka. Okay. Now, actually her grandma has formed a Russia year before. But even she feared with this minching summer storm. This is a storm of how grandma, my Babu Shaka, helped me to overcome my fear of the thunderstorm. Grandma looked at the horizon. Horizon means at the edge of the sky. Breathe and said, or we can say, now when you go to have you ever went to a sea coast? Seashore? Yes. When you will stand there, you can find a line where the sea and the sky meet each other. Similarly, if you will stand near the mountainous side, you can find that the line where the mountain and the sky meet. So that is called the horizon. Okay. This is the thunder cake baking weather. Alright. Look like a storm coming to me. The child, you come out from under that bed. It is only a thunder you are hearing. My grandma said. The air was hot, heavy and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows and made me grab her clothes. I was so scared that I could barely see what was going on. Steady, child, she cooed. Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today. Thunder cake? I stammered. Stammer means spoke with a repeated sound very difficultly because she was almost afraid. I hugged her even closer. Don't pay attention to that old thunder. except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting. So what the grandma said? To divert her attention, don't get panic with that old thunder. Just you see that how far the storm is, because we have to make thunder cake. So whenever you see a lightning, start counting. Really slow. When you heard the thunder, stop. Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting really slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand? She asks, we need to know how far away the storm is. So we have a time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be really the thunder cake. So what the grandma say? Don't pay attention toward the old thunder. In spite of that, what you do? When you observe the lightning, start counting. And when you hear the noise of a thunder, stop the counting. So we will come to know how far the storm is away from us. Okay, how far the storm is, so that we can bake a cake in the oven. Her eyes surveyed the black cloud away off the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her one hand pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. Let's find the recipe, child, she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained page to a crisp spot. Here is a thunder cake. She carefully penned the ingredient on a piece of a notepaper. Now let's gather all the things we all need, she exclaimed as she scurried. Scurried means move quickly with a short step toward the back door. We are by the brand door. When a huge blot of lightning flashed, I started counting like Grandma told me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said, as she looked at the sky. About an hour away. I did say, you will have to be hurry, child. Gather the egg carefully, she said. Egg from the mean old neatly packed hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to pick me. I am here. She won't hurt you. Just get the egg, Grandma said softly. So what the first ingredient they have to collect? The egg. From where she has to collect the egg? She has to collect the egg from the old neatly picked hen. It is the name of an hen. Okay. Now the little girl was very afraid of the hen. She knew that it would pick her. So what the grandma said, don't be afraid of. She is going to be there with the little girl to collect the egg. I helped myself to some egg. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I continue 9 meals. Grandma reminded me. Milk was the next. Milk from old kicked cow. Now what was the habit of a cow? To kick. As Grandma milked her, kick cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted to myself. Broom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get a chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. Okay, up till now what they have collected? They have collected the egg from the old neatly picked hen, milk from the old kicked cow. Okay, so how much mile the storm is? The storm is 8 miles away. Okay, now what are the ingredients they require to make the cake? They require the ingredients are chocolate, sugar and flour. And where they have to collect? They have to collect it from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through the tangled weed. Woods to dry shade. Suddenly the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted. Boom, boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with the grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into a dry shade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, boom, the thunder beloved. It was dark and I was scared. I am here, the child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hooray, now we haven't got much time. We have got everything but the secret ingredient. 3 overripe tomatoes, some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the thrills. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. Now, what are the other ingredients the grandma require? The grandma require over-ripened tomatoes and strawberries. For that, where she has to climb? The little girl has to climb over the thrills. Thrills means what? A light frame of crossbar of wood, metals, to support the climbing plants. Okay? I am your child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached over 3 lesions. Lesions means containing a lot of juice. Tomato, while she picked strawberry. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted. Ka bang, boom, the thunder growled. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I crunched butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pan and put them into the oven together. So what they did? They went hurriedly inside the house. They measure all the ingredients. They mix it into a bowl. They crunch the butter. They melted the chocolate. And finally, they ready the batter. And that batter was being poured in the cake pan. And then they put it into the oven. Lighting lit the kitchen. I only counted 3 and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake in the oven. We made it. We will have a real thunder cake. As we wait for the cake, Grandma looked out of the window for a long time. Why you aren't afraid of thunder? You are too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I am not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? So what the grandma said? Okay, we will wait for the cake. And she just looked out of the window and what she told? That you are a really brave girl, that after such a storm and a thunder and a lightning, and you have collected all the ingredients by yourself to bake a cake. So what the little girl said? That she was not a brave, she was hidden under the bed. But you got out from under it, she answered. You got an egg, the means old nil peck hen. You got a milk from the old kick cow. You went through the tangleweed woods to the dry shed. You climbed the thrills in the barnyard. Only very brave person can do and done all these things. I thought and thought as the storm numbered closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people cannot be afraid of sound, child. She said as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into a kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Then just the lighting flashed, and this is the time it is the whole sky. Even before the last flash has faded, the thunder rolled, boom, crash, and ba ba ba, room went just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooked. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on the top of our thunder cake. As the rain poured down off our roof, Grandma cut a wedge. Wedge means what, children? A piece of a thick and thin pointed end. When you have a birthday, you cut the cake in a triangular shape and it is a pointed? Yes. She poured us such a steaming cup of tea from the samara. When the thunder roared above us so hard, it shook the window and rattled the dishes in the cupboard. We just smiled at the ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. So children, you might have understood the lesson very well. Now we will start with the grammar. Reflexive pronoun. So first we will read the sentence. I help myself to some egg. The subject in this sentence is I. The object in this sentence is myself. In this sentence, myself is a reflexive pronoun. A reflexive pronoun is used when the subject and the object are the same. The child counted to herself. The subject in the sentence is a child and herself is an object. So we will complete the sentence. Maria saw herself in the mirror. The kitten tried to bite me but bit itself by mistake. I taught myself to play the guitar. The boy helped themselves to the samosa. There are plenty of cakes here. Boy, help yourself. My father cut himself when he was shaving. Okay, children? So you might have understood the grammar part also. So here is the collision with the verbs and the adverb. Okay? Some words combine together naturally and form a common expression. Now he worked hard to complete the assignment on time. Her friend cheered loudly when she won the prize. So here we will complete the sentence with the right word from the bracket. Henry worked energetically to catch the train. She laughed heartily at the joke. She sang sweetly at the concert. Our soldier fought bravely at the border. The baby slept soundly through all the noise. Please donate lavishly to the charity. So children, you might have understood the entire lesson and the grammar part. So have a good day. Go through the lesson. Bye. And see you on the next session. Goodbye.